Home sweet dome sweet home. Ever since the rise in modern consumerism, the future of home living has been a constant in the field of predictions. And why not? After all, the home is, well, your home. It only makes sense that the advancements in technology will serve to improve the standard of living over time. And the home, it has become quite convenient. Amenities like the refrigerator, the stove, and air conditioning have gone from luxuries to commonplace to necessities in a fairly short amount of time. Something like the microwave was once reserved only for the wealthy, costing the modern equivalent of $13,000. Now you can go to Walmart and buy one for $50. And this is what interests me most about the 90s and 2000 predictions for 2020 in the home. And there's a lot I couldn't even come close to covering in a single video. But luckily for us, there is a good source of predictions in this field. A series, in fact, Microsoft's Home of the Future. Produced every couple years or so, Microsoft would make a home that functioned as a test bed for new technology and also what the home could look like. It was part futurism, part advertising campaign, but it gives us a pretty good standard for what people expected the future to be like. So today, I just wanted to look at this short video, which aired in 1999 on Retirement Living TV. This is Microsoft's Home of the Future. We start with a woman, Robin, unlocking the house via eye or fingerprint scanner. She goes in and presses a touch panel on the wall, signaling that she is home. As you can see, it's not too fancy. It kind of looks like an air conditioning panel, but nonetheless, it functions as the home center. Once she tells the home that she is home, it sets the lights and mood to her preset settings. Robin's voicemail lets her know that she has messages waiting, and her husband says he's leaving her. She checks the kitchen computer to see if her kids will be free for dinner, and it looks like this. Yeah. It's easy to forget how computers were not an all-consuming force in the late 90s. The average home would only have one computer, if that. Calendar applications existed, and they exist today, but they weren't too fancy. So the idea of a shared calendar across devices, that was cool. So to check if her daughter is free, she sends a message to her pocket PC. Yeah. Robin wants to start cooking dinner, but she finds she is missing garlic, a key ingredient.
Garlic, a key ingredient.
So she tracks her husband's location via GPS to see if he's close to the store. Lucky for us, he is. Then she does something I'll admit is actually pretty cool. She calls him using just voice commands with the keyword at the beginning, like we do today. Now, while I spend most of the time with my little robot buddy screaming its name and trying to get it to quit spinning in a circle, the overall dynamic here is a pretty accurate portrayal of our home of the future. Her husband answers via car phone thing that's in the dashboard, and I guess back then that would have been pretty futuristic. Now it's just a car. She reconciles with her husband and tells him to go get the garlic. And in the meantime, we get a rare miss in this prediction's masterpiece. The way grocery lists are managed in this home is kind of odd. You have a scanning system, which I guess, that's fine. People don't do that, but you could if you wanted to. But if she throws something out, any food product, it just scans it because it probably has a sensor on it, and it tells the grocer who's gonna deliver that. The delivery part isn't so wacky, right? But the idea of tiny computers that just tell everything is not here. The only similarity I can think of is this Amazon Bloop Dot or the Apple Plumple Sploo, and these still cost a pretty penny. Not cheap enough to just throw in a bag of Chips Ahoy. What also confuses me is the storytelling here, the plot line. If Robin needed garlic, wouldn't the grocer already know that because she threw it out?
When the rest of the family gets home, there are many ways the house makes life easier. Dad might want to change the lights and turn on the news in the family room.
Why does he just press watch TV. Like, it's right there. The TV is right there. He's still gonna have to pick up a remote at some point to change the channel. So why does having the ability to turn on his TV 3 feet away really emphasize this world of the future? We see one of their kids playing the piano, and it has this awful looking iPad that everything runs on Windows ME in the future, I guess. Their other kid is using a microscope for science homework. What confuses me is, did they already have the microscope at home, or did the school lend it out to them? Like, each kid gets a microscope. What we're supposed to be impressed by is how it visualizes the microscope imaging on this desktop computer screen in 480p. Wouldn't it just be easier if the kid looked down? Just like you use a microscope? I think my favorite part, by far, of this whole dystopian hellscape is that when dinner is actually finished, it interrupts the TV and screens of everybody in the home to say this:
"The cooking period is done."
So then their son goes to the air conditioning panel and sets the scene for dinner. Now, the logistics of this seem odd to me. I have to assume that for most people with dining rooms, that it's generally a stagnant place. Like, would you really have to mess with setting the scene? Is somebody changing the brightness of the lights all the time in every single room of the house? But this also sets the background music for the dining room. I don't even, what would that be? Do people do this? Who are these people? Also, we get to see how the home sets itself to do not disturb while the family's eating. So when a guy comes to the door trying to sell them stuff, it does not alert the family. Later, we see Dad is watching the news, and the kids come in and say, "We want to watch our movie."
Okay.
And he's like, "Okay, get out of my face. I'll put your movie on a different screen. I want to watch MSNBC." So the kids leave, and he has the ability to control any screen in the house. And that's not, I guess that's not too wacky. Like, I can do that. And so he puts on Apollo 13 for the kids. Is this the movie your kids wanted to watch?
We just lost the mood.
Why were these kids so excited to watch Apollo 13? Austin Powers is right there. Then we get to see Robin can control the air conditioning and the lights and the TV and everything from yet another Windows ME computer in her home office. Now, what I like here is it shows that it's all in a web browser, so everything has to be done through Internet Explorer on the Windows ME operating system. Also, the current temperature is set to winter daytime, and it's not daytime. I don't even think it's winter. Also, she has like 5 tabs open. So now it's night, and we see Robin and Dad, and she's reading an electronic ebook. And I guess that's kind of futuristic, like 2005 futuristic. And Dad's checking the weather on his web phone. Cool. And then he turns the lights out using voice commands. But he doesn't even ask Robin if she's done reading. He just does it, and she just accepts it. Like, imagine that. Imagine if you're just sitting there and someone's like, "Okay, that's it. The day's over. I decided. I already got to use my web phone." And that's it. That's the segment from the 1999 retirement TV show. Overall, it's a fine prediction set. Many of these technologies exist, but a lot of them are implemented in a way that they're antiquated before mass adoption could even begin. If anything, this is more like a 2020 home if technology just stopped developing after 2004. The idea of everybody having a computer and these computers controlling the home, that's a good idea, but we just don't have 20 Windows ME computers sitting around our house. We don't have 20 desktop computers sitting around our house. But besides the garbage can knowing when you throw something out and ordering it's fairly standard stuff today. Honestly, if I had to go back to the year 2000 and tell people what homes will be like in the future, I'd just show them this. I'd also ask them if they really had specific background music for just when they were eating, because that's weird, right?